Drifter, written by Jim Mintz.
The traveler approached cautiously, slowing the horse as it trotted near the boy. The horse was a powerful animal, not easy to break. The entity left the boy and traveled upward toward the wanderer. It was a soldier in training, not yet of rank, young, high-spirited, and bloodthirsty. The entity entered the mind of the young man and felt his emotions plunging around its gathered thoughts. He had a strong desire to kill the boy and leave him there by the side of the road for the inconvenience of slowing his progress toward Rome. The entity subdued the young warrior, putting him in a catatonic state, then left his body aboard the horse, which had slowed to a halt. The entity re-entered the boy, who was awake now and starting to mourn. The loss of his parents had laid a heavy barrier over him. The boy was not easily controlled. The force of the emotion was strong and took hold of him. Speech, vision, and hearing were all affected by this powerful pull toward the familiarity of his now-deceased family. No matter how hard the entity pulled, the boy would not be overcome. The sword of the soldier was resting in its scabbard. The entity found an alternative. If it could not control the boy completely, it could at least control his limbs. It used the boy's arm to draw the sword from its sheath and raised his hand high, slicing down at the beating throb below the young soldier's ankle, opening an artery. The boy was none the wiser. He barely registered the weapon in his hand. As quickly as the entity used the boy's arm to kill the young soldier, the boy dropped the sword and fell to his knees, crying over the bodies of his mother and father. The entity re-entered the soldier to feel his dying minutes, to get a sense of why he had been so willing to remove the boy for the inconvenience. Scanning his emotions, the entity could read no memories. They were blacked out entirely. Whoever this boy soldier was, he did not want to remember where he came from. The entity searched for recognizable traits: love, empathy, humor, anxiety, shame. The boy soldier had none of these. He was an empty canvas, a broken soul. The entity could only gather a read on his history from the scars and old, dried bloodstains that lined his armor. The boy soldier was no stranger to combat, it seemed. Beyond that, the entity could not get a solid read on the young one. It was surprised that something perceived as intellectually narrow-minded, lacking in empathy or perspective, could be so mentally attuned as to block out any invasive species from reading his thoughts. That's twice now, the alien thought. I've been blocked from total control by two kinds of emotion, grief and psychopathy. It felt the life draining out of the boy soldier as the blood pooled more and more on the dirt. The entity left the boy soldier and re-entered the boy, allowing him to finish his mourning.